Welcome to WhoDooTV. We are live and we are talking about new comic books for tomorrow, which is June 20th, but today's June 19th. We got some good books online that are coming out tomorrow. Happy to go over a bunch of those with you guys. But first off, just wanted to touch base. I'm Hoosier, the host, and I got my guest host on. That's Chris.
The Bald Moose.
Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you jumping on with me.
Absolutely. Every week, every time, man. I'm here.
Cool. That works. Appreciate that. What's been up?
Man, just busy, trying to get everything caught up so that it's all fun in the sun for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we go to Ace. That's the big thing for me.
Right? We're going to go do some home improvement and get a wheelbarrow and shovel some horse turds. If you've never cleaned a horse stall, worked on that, you haven't worked.
Oh, that's living.
That's living. But we're not talking about Ace Hardware or horse turds, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Ace
we're
Comic
talking about seeing my highlight of the whole thing, Ace Comic Con in Seattle, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be there. My highlight is going to be seeing Kevin Smith, dude. I'm pumped up for that, dude.
That show at 7:30, a free show. And then, yeah, getting a chance to see a free show of Kevin Smith going crazy, doing what he does, a stand-up comedy. That's going to be fun. But we also have the Super Trooper guys in that we could hit up Saturday night.
Yes, the Super Troopers, Farva, and what's the other guy's name? Can't forget his name. But those two dudes are going to be at the Bellevue, the parlor in Bellevue, so just around the corner. So could be a pretty awesome weekend for some fun geekdom, comedy, amazingness.
Yes, absolutely. And then, of course, we get to hang out with our boy.
Clayton Crane?
Say again?
Clayton Crane?
Well, yeah, Clayton's going to be there, yes, but I'm talking about Alex.
Yeah, Alex, good old Valiant sales manager is going to be in town. He is like the head of like the creators or something, the getting the people involved in the Artist Alley, I believe. So that's really cool.
Yes, he does. I know he does a lot of work from home, and but yeah, he does a lot of calls, gets a lot of people involved in it. Yeah, a lot of people in Artist Alley and getting the artists and not producers, but the authors, for lack of getting all the talent lined up. Getting the talent lined up.
Yep, the guests. Oh man, you know one thing I did this week that was pretty awesome. See, I'm a little behind on my TV some days because I'm a new age kid and I don't have cable. I have streaming. And one thing I got into this week is I got into the first few episodes of Cloak and Dagger. And I am not up to the comics on Cloak and Dagger. I'm not going to claim I am. But geez, is it a good show?
Really?
So freaking good. Man, if you guys have been watching that show, let me know what you guys think. So far, I'm loving it, man. Have you had a chance to look at that or even heard of it yet, Chris?
Man, I haven't even heard of it.
Oh,
that cover art right there says, you know what, that's kind of cool. And I do like spy versus spy kind of, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of curious.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty cool, man. I don't know if it's necessarily spy versus spy or anything, but really a awesome show so far. Came out of the works. Don't even know what network it's actually on, but it is one that I am going to encourage people to go read, take a look at, or watch, not read, watch.
And where did you say you found that on?
Hulu.
On Hulu, huh?
Yep. Pretty good. Well, what did you guys read on the chat? I want to know what you guys read last week, what you thought. I know Danny Millhouse is on the chat right now. Danny, tell us what you thought about what was on, what you liked last week, what came out. And Chris, you got into a book that you said you're not able to put down.
Oh my goodness, yes. I picked up Isola specifically because last week I found that the third printing of #1, the second printing of #2, and then book #3 had come out at that same time. So I figured, why not? Let's just pick up 1, 2, and 3. Let's see if it's worthwhile. I mean, if it's not a good book, I'm out, what, 10, 12 bucks? You go to a fast food restaurant, you burn that up, you know, in one sitting. At least this way I'm somewhat entertained. I dove into those books, and I think I even told you after book one, I was like, oh my God, the art in that is so rich and colorful. And the story's good too. It's crazy because I want to say it's like the first 5 or 6 pages, not a word spoken. I mean, there's nothing, I shouldn't say it, maybe, I don't know, maybe a few more panels, maybe I exaggerate with 5 or 6 pages, but I know I was like, wow, no words. And so I started paying attention. The artist and the way that he draws the body language, you could tell there was some anguish and there was some fear and there were some hurt feeling. Man, I was just like, wow, what is this? And then, of course, the first words is, I'm sorry, my queen, blah, blah, blah. And it goes on like that. And she's talking to a tiger. And I'm just, whoa, this kind of not what I expected, but I didn't know what to expect. And so I really dug into that first issue, blazed through the second and third one, and just, I loved it. It was fantastic.
So all I know is the lady talks to a tiger. Man, you didn't give me nothing.
I don't want to spoil it. I just know it's fantastic.
That's awesome, man. One that I got into and I really loved, I got to get a preview copy of it, and we did a video of it, and that's The Weatherman with Jody LaHoop and Nathan Fox. And last week on the show, I said, I can't wait for you to get to the end of it. Tell me, for spoilers, guys, spoilers. I'll give you the hint. If you've watched Old Yeller or you've seen John Wick, you got an idea of what's to come.
He did such a masterful job setting you up to give a damn. And you're going along, and here's this guy, he's happy-go-lucky, and he's got his dog with him, and everywhere he goes, this dog's right by his side, best friend, chummy old pal, meets this girl, they're talking, and pow! Gunshot, dog's head gets completely blown off. And the weatherman, it just freaks out. Like I think anybody would have a natural reaction to, oh my God, this dog, this thing that is like my child, just got his head blown off. I mean, it was just, and I just remember stopping and just looking at that saying, oh my God, he did what? And then, of course, instantly thought of what you were thinking, and I started laughing. Like, there's my instant reaction right there. Oh my God, you did what? Yeah, fantastic read. Such a twist. I mean, it's going along. Everything's just like you would expect it. And then, bam, you fall off a cliff. There's not even a warning. I mean, just bam. And then intensity picks up and the book just goes crazy.
It does. It does. Very, very good. Man, it is beautiful. I like Nathan Fox's art a lot.
I enjoyed the art. It had a great color. Had great
newer color. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, it had great movement. You could see the expressions on the faces, even on the dog, which is pretty simple. Dogs only have a small range of expression, but you're still able to get across how the dog was reacting to the weatherman, and the play and the banter that they had back and forth, and just how happy-go-lucky both of them were. I mean, you just kind of really pictured that dopey, lovey dog that goes for a walk, doesn't even need a chain, is right there by your side because you two are best friends, best pals. And then your best pal gets his head blown off. You're just...
All's fair in Mars.
On Mars, yeah.
Yeah, it was freaking cool. Danny on the chat says his some of his favorites that he had last week was The Weatherman, but he also got into Magic Order, Mark Miller's new book.
Yeah.
And I did not get to read that one, but that is one that I have heard positive things about. And that he has got another trick up his sleeve, they say. And so, yeah, Mark Miller's Magic Order. So good call out there, Danny. So you want to, Danny, and you mentioned somebody who, I believe, I'm going to proof my work real quick and make sure I'm telling you guys the truth here. But they're, again, on The Weatherman, great book, and I do like it that I'm right with what I'm about to say, so that's good. And I said it earlier. A guy who has been killing it, and he's got this whole universe, and that is Jeff Lemire with Black Hammer, with Dean Ormston, but again, Dave Stewart, colors from the Weatherman. And then just what Lemire is doing with the Black Panther, Yes, the Black Panther. There you go. Black Hammer. What he's doing with the Dark Horse on the Black Hammer has been simply amazing.
Yeah, and he's from what I gather, and I hadn't read this somewhere. I think I have the Ashcan variant buried somewhere, because I remember when this book came out, and I remember I was at a Comic-Con, and I was unfamiliar with Lemire. And I remember going by the, Dark Horse booth and picking up all these extra things that they're handing out. And so somewhere deep in here, I've got that book of the #1, which is really, really cool. I might go looking for it. But read an article here 4, 5, 6 days ago. I don't know. But it basically said how Lemire is just building this superhero comic universe inside of just a few books. And he's doing it inside of Dark Horse. It can span out and go many different directions. I honestly believe that right there is the #1 issue why Bloodshot is ending at 12, because I think Lemire is going to go and do that full time and really just flesh out everything inside those books. Personal theory, but that's what I think he's going to be doing.
Yeah, I'm up in the air with what he's going to do. Because he's also got a whole nother universe in Descender as well that can go in a million different directions. He's, always writing something. I mean, the guy is so busy. He's going to take over Kick-Ass here really soon.
Yeah, Hit Girl.
With Mark Miller. And so that is, I believe, Kick-Ass or Hit Girl.
Hit Girl.
Hit Girl.
Girl #5.
That's huge. And he has been on top of it all the way. I mean, the Royal City's still going strong. I know he was on the Terrifics right now. Just Lemire is a very seasoned pro now, and he's very sought after. So he is going to get where he wants to go. And I believe that's going to be the jobs he wants. And, but again, that's going back to his book, Black Hammer, a solid hit that there's a reason it won the Eisner, man. So
yeah,
and he is in line for best writer for an Eisner this year. He is up against another guy that we like here at the show as well, and he's also got a Black Horse book coming out this week, and that is Matt Kent on Ether.
Yeah, his magical run. It's kind of interesting. It's another one of those books where I got into it a little later, but you have a protagonist who is big-time science guy locked in a world of magic, and he's trying to keep the balance. It's kind of interesting. This whole idea. That's another man that has just an insane thought process, because he goes from something like this, and he's just all over the stratosphere. I don't know if he's ever done a magic style book before.
Well, he has talked in cons before that he hates magic. And that is one thing when he was writing about Ninjak and how Ninjak went to the dead side, and there is that magic that's involved with the dead side, that he just really did not like supernatural magic. And Matt is a writer that is challenging himself all the time.
Yes.
He has talked about how he's tried to write a book with no narration at all. It's completely dialogue, 100% dialogue, just because he wanted to see if he could.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I dig the guy, the way he challenges himself, and he has been able to create some really cool stories, some far way crazy stories. He just got done with Depth. Department H just ended, and and he's just got done with Grass Kinks. That just ended. Again, I think I plugged Black Badge. If you want to pre-order that, if you're like a DCBS person or just get with your local LCS, make sure you order Black Badge coming soon. But yeah, Kent is always impressing. And just, I like Ether, I think, is going to be one of those ones where he's going to kind of do an arc here and there too, which is really cool. And that's something that he's kind of been doing quite. I mean, he did that with all Divinities.
Yeah.
Give it up for a little while, come back to it.
Yep.
It's kind of something he's been doing outside of Department H and Grass Kings, really.
It keeps things fresh. But one other thing, and you're talking about a man who constantly challenges himself, his mind management, he's putting out a record. I caught that little advertisement on Matt Kent's Facebook page. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Dug into it a little deeper. Yeah, he's going after a record. I don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be spoken word regarding the comic books or what. It's, because I know he's trying to build so many different things around this mind management idea that I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if there were some type of subliminals here and there in regards to the book, maybe a little expansion.
You know it's going to be a TV show soon, right?
That doesn't surprise me in the least.
No, it is. It is going to be a TV show really soon.
Yeah,
it's in the works. So when we were at Emerald City, got to chat with him. He is pumped up about it, and he talked about these small little releases he's going to be doing. Like he just did one issue, and it's only a 500 copy issue.
Yes, he did. He did that on Twitter, and it sold out in no time. It went so quick.
And if you guys, I don't know if it was Denver or Heroes Con, he was at one of those two this weekend, and he had like 10 of them with him. And he's like, okay, cool, I got 10 just for this show. These are the last 10. So Matt Kent going crazy with the things he's doing.
Another guy that's just simply fire right now. Just simply blowing up all over the place.
Right. And then here's one for you to go back to. Going back to the guy who we talked about just right before that. We have a little Jeff Lemire book coming out again that is getting tons of praise.
Yeah, I am so loving this book. And look at these covers.
Gideon Falls, #4. This is such again, another turn on a genre for Jeff Lemire that's different than his other books.
Yeah, this is horror/suspense, mystery, and yeah, it's crazy. I mean, look at that image there on the far right of the melty face skeleton dude with a quarter in his eye or whatever it is. Man, oh man, that's just trippy. I mean, I
love Sorrentino's art. I'm not sure who did that cover, but Sorrentino's art is just phenomenal. I mean, I believe he's French, but it's just that really raw, dark storytelling that he's doing, and the way that him and Lemire working together is it's something to be noted, right? These two guys are creating some great books. Obviously, Lemire, I mean, he's got to write something bad every once in a while.
Just not happening right now.
You know what's really actually, this could probably get people to hate me. Probably his worst thing he's writing right now is Bloodshot.
You're probably right, and he's much like Matt Kent and Magic. He's never been a Bloodshot fan, so he's been trying to flesh out a lot of different ideas of Bloodshot instead of a shoot 'em up bad guy or shoot 'em up good guy. And he's been trying many different directions.
Yeah, pretty wild. Danny on the chat's got some good stuff for us, as always. Thanks, Danny. He says he's still waiting for that Lemire Harbinger book that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
So am I. I am going to sit here and wait. Hold my breath until, Mel gives me a call saying it's happening.
I'll hold my breath too, but I'll probably turn blue in the face and pass out.
Yep. And then actually, Danny mentioned some good news here too. Man, I've got to get Danny on the show. He said that Dark Horse announced a Stranger Things comic written by Jody Hauser.
That's an interesting crossover right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know that Jody's a huge fan of Stranger Things. I see her on Twitter, and when Stranger Things 2 came out, she was super stoked about it and was chatting a lot about it.
Yep. One that I wanna let's get into my Marvel call outs for the week. How's that sound?
Let's do it. I'm right behind you.
Marvel callouts. It's not X-Men Gold like number 30, what Danny's got.
No.
But here's some of the Marvel callouts and just some. Not. Am I going to read them? Probably not, to be honest with you, because I'm not really into Marvel. But I know some of you guys are. But some Marvel Infinity Countdown Black Widow #1. So getting ready for this Black Widow movie that's going to be getting in production pretty soon. They are trying to strike while the iron's hot like they usually do.
Yep.
One that I find to be quite interesting. I don't know if you saw the previews of this, you got your preview catalog or you looked it up, but there is a book coming out with like every alphabet cover is covered
down to Z2.
It goes like, it's crazy because there's like way too freaking many. I don't know what to say about it. It is just, it is crazy how many covers there are. I mean, I know a lot of them are the same cover with just one image of Iron Man on it that's a little separated, but it's nuts how many there are. I'm not a fan of it.
No, I'm not. I like variants. I enjoy them. But especially from a collector's standpoint. But when you have A, B, C, D all the way through Z, then Z1 and Z2.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, Z2. So you do the whole alphabet and then you have to do Z 3 times.
Yeah, come on.
Crazy. But so new Marvel book. Go get it if you like Iron Man. Tony Stark Iron Man. He's coming for you, and he's out there. So plenty of Iron Man available. If you buy all of those covers, you get a thumbs up. I'll give you a high five.
You get a broke checkbook, too.
Yeah.
Your pocketbook's going to be hurting.
So I hope you're not a completist for that.
Oh, my goodness. How could you be?
Yep. All right, and then I guess since we're on that model of talking about the big two, I'll give you. I only got one book that I'm doing on DC this week, and it's not Green Lantern #49, which Danny calls out, and it's not Damage #6 that Danny calls out. Thanks for calling those out. It is a book that I enjoyed 2 weeks ago. Scott Snyder's Justice League #2. What makes this dude happy is that guy on the right there. Martian Manhunter, and then seeing Jim Lee drawing Martian Manhunter is freaking great. The introduction of this book was phenomenal. I highly recommend it. This is the Totality Part 2. And yeah, so it is pretty good when you get one of the best superheroes in comics back in the game, having been away for a little while. So a little DC action for you there. And then I think you had another one here, Chris, that I'll let you, again, chat about. It's kind of weird because I have to talk for it to show it, but you have this one here.
Yeah, Infidel #4. This has been an excellent horror read, if you will. It's the whole idea of racism mixed in with the supernatural. And the best part is the supernatural really takes the lead. You would think that with the current structure that maybe the political ideas would take over, but this book really does well not to lean too heavy on that. Sure, it hints on it. Sure, there's bits and pieces of it, but this book just gets spookier and spookier, and I do believe it only goes to 5, so there's one more book after this, but this has been an exceptionally fantastic, eerie, well-drawn, just spooky book, and I'm really looking forward to diving into this tomorrow. It's fantastic.
Jump into that book head first, man. One that I am also happy to call out this week. It was another one we did a show of. I recommend people get into this because it is introducing artist Joshua Hickson, who has got a cool, dark, gritty, raw style that is worth taking a look for. And this is with Christopher Zabella, and this is Shanghai Red. It's a story that takes back in old 1800 Portland, about some of the old pirate ships and somebody got shanghaied on a boat, and that shanghaiing is where you would basically be basically kidnapped on a boat and then basically forced to work on it in a weird way, and somebody out looking for revenge. Cool story, worth the pickup, man. I am gonna. That is one that I liked. It's a 5-part story there. It's a good story, and it is worth looking into.
Yeah, from the video that you're talking about when we went to the Image Expo, and he sat down and started talking about that book. I'm a fan of anything that happens local area, so that got me excited there. But the story sounds very intriguing, and I do like a little bit of revenge mixed in with my books, especially when there's a touch of history that you can place with it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this book. It's going to be fun.
Yep, and we did a review video of that one, so you guys are going to want to check that out. Yeah, we did get to see Chris at the Image Expo, and then we also got to read that and did a review of that one. Very, very solid. Another book we got to do, meet the guys at Image Expo, and actually we're going to have an interview coming out with the writer where we got to have a little chat with the writer on this. And this is Anthony Del Cole's new book. And it is in a hardcover graphic novel, full format, The Son of Hitler, with Jeffrey Moore, Jeffrey McComsey, and McClendon. A cool story as if Hitler did have a kid and what he did to kind of go in and take out his old pops, get rid of the old dad and put his dad in a chokehold. So Anthony Del Cole is a character. I can't wait for that video to come up. Jared got to interview him. It was pretty funny. The dude is hilarious. Hilarious. Then I think there's a couple books this week. And Chris, go ahead and shoot it off with this one. Go ahead and give us a little talk about our buddy Jack.
Oh yeah, Shadow Man has been a book that I'm curious about as it keeps diving deeper and deeper. Of course, we've had we had a recent release showing all the books that are going to be coming out around the beginning of the year. One of them is going to be the new event that's going to be kicking off by, I do believe Diggle's kicking that one off, right?
Yep, that's Andy Diggle and Doug Braithwaite.
Yes, and I do believe that Shadow Man and the path that he's going to go down and the events that are going to happen in this book are going to somehow, in some way, tangent up with this book, its Incursion, correct?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, yes. And so I'm really curious to see the path that Diggle takes here, and I'm really trying to study him, because this is the first book that I've read by him, and this is all fresh and everything that he's doing, and I want to see the path he's taking, because in the beginning he said he's got 2 years worth of Shadow Man. Right off the bat, he's got 2 years. For me, that's fantastic. That's what I want to see. And I want to see these books continue to roll. I'm liking the current Shadow Man. It'll be the first book I probably read tomorrow.
Nice. It is always good, and I just want to pull it back up to show everybody these covers. A cool lineup of covers on this one, with Tonsi Zonic on the A cover, and then Mac on a cover. I believe Dave Johnson's on that C cover there.
You and I, when we were at Emerald City, didn't we get a sneak peek at that number 4 from Mac?
You may have. I didn't get to see Mac when I was there.
Oh, okay. Yes, yeah, I did. I got a chance, and I cornered him for a few minutes, got a couple of pictures with him and his wife. Not of his art, because that would be...
I hope you didn't corner his wife. That would just be wrong.
No, but I got him at his booth. But
don't corner his wife. That ain't right, man.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. I wouldn't do that. But caught him at his booth. He got to show off some of his art, showing a number of the books that he did for the Shadow Man art for covers. And yeah, that's just another one. I love his layer on layer type style art. Fantastic.
Yeah, some good stuff. And then there's one that is another good book that's coming out this week, and another writer that I freaking just love his work, and that is going to be Christos Gage, Ninjak number 8. We're continuing with this this arc with his new team that he's kind of put together with Ginger, Dr. Mirage, Punk Mambo, Livewire, and they're going up against a little rogues group of like Costly the Deathless and just a number of them. And it is a fun book. And again, that C cover. What is that C cover, man? I need to go get that C cover so I can go get that signed. First signing by Clayton Crane. Oh, that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
And that'll be fine too, because that's like is that just a C cover? Or is that a 1 of 10 or a 1 of?
I think it's just a C cover.
C cover, then we can get that bad boy. We will find it.
Yep.
But, that's a good one to hunt down. That's a great one to get the first sign for. Absolutely.
Yep. And so all for it, and I actually believe that might be the interlocking. It actually might be the 1 in 10 interlocking variant, I think.
Okay. I have some news on the Ninjak front, and something that a lot of Valiant fans have been talking about. We finally are going to get ourselves an Eternal Warrior sighting in the next Ninjak arc. So this could be setting up his release from where he was to finally get possibly an ongoing book with Eternal Warrior.
I just want everybody to enjoy their read tomorrow of Ninjak number 8. Please enjoy the read. There's a cover that came out in one of the previews that shows Glad reflection on one of Ninjak's swords. And it's coming, man. It's coming. We're getting the good old Glad coming back. Gladdy is coming. And dude, get him back in there. Get him back in there.
He needs to, because he's been excellent in the little pieces that he's been in Ninjak's book and Ninja K coming up. And the little bits and pieces that he's been in, fantastic. I think it's due start to bring him back out. I mean, you've got a lot of people a lot of characters that are going to try and flesh out. I know Dr. Mirage is going to be future. I'd love to see Eternal Warrior. I'd love to see some new things start to come out. Maybe start producing a few more books.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have 10 to 12. That's where I'm at. I mean, I would take as many as they gave me, but again, as long as quality's there. But I think 10 to 12 would be the hot spot for me. That's what I think would just be pretty awesome to be able to get. Three a week would just be for a 4 week, and then then throw it back to 2. Throw it down on the longer months. But I would just dig having 3 a week, however it turned out. One of the conversations that they were having that I was chatting with online, and I think this was over at Get Valiant's Facebook, was going back to that conversation, is Book of Death canon, and is it canon now that there's a whole new backing on the back end of Valiant?
Well, I think from in other conversations, conversations with Matt Kent, conversations inside of other books, that the Book of Death was canon for that moment. But because of the Book of Death and the ability for endings to be rewritten, it can't be considered canon anymore. There may be certain parts, and we've seen certain parts, like the Fall of Bloodshot in the Dog. We can put that together. We can see what Bloodshot was talking about in some of those books. There's little bits and pieces. We're going to find out how close to canon, especially Fall of Harbinger, when we get the life and death of Toyo Harada. And we will see just how this will flesh itself out and how close or how altered the Book of Death truly is. But I want to say, I'm trying to remember where that was mentioned, that the endings of Book of Death can be altered.
I think it might have been in Rapture.
Rapture, yes.
I believe it was Rapture. And even said or not said, to me, if you make it canon like that, and it takes away a lot of the sting, it takes away a lot of the unknown in these books, right?
Right.
I use Harbinger just as an example. Harbinger Renegade with Solomon, and now you have Alpha, and they're supposed to be these big bads, right? To me, they mean nothing if Book of Death is canon because they're going to survive and they're going to die the way they already died. And so there's little threat in this. It makes it, to me, it takes away so much from the books if it were to be canon. And that's what I don't like about it, because you want to believe that there's threat, that there's chances that this could be the vital end for Chris or for Pete. You know, you want to believe that somebody could take out, you know, that Costley maybe could take out Ninjak. I mean, we know he's not going to. We know that's not the case. But you want to believe that there's this opportunity for something to happen in that manner, to have some real danger. There's this conflict and danger, and that's the story writing. Is what if this guy doesn't go through with it? What if this doesn't happen? But yet when you take that away and you know how it's already happening, it's a lot like Marvel and DC. Oh, kill him. He'll just come back in a week anyway. They'll figure we make him back alive.
Yeah.
You know, it takes away what the stories really can mean when, you know, it's already out there. I don't know. It's I don't know. Yeah, so I and that's what NES Master just put on there. I imagine that both that the death books have changed, and I really do hope so. I really do hope so. That way we can get some more stuff in there, and have that be the case. I know Josh over at Get Valiant was saying that he's heard from writers saying they really aren't paying attention to the Book of Deaths.
Yeah. And that doesn't surprise me in the least bit, because there were one-shots. And while very, very cool, and it was just a little mini, and while the story was fantastic, and those one-shots were outstanding, yeah, it's tough to keep them close to canon because of everything you just said. How can you continue to write amazing and successful books if you know that certain people are going to die at a certain time? And so if you kill them off early, well, you know they're going to come back. So,
yeah, and that, like I said, it takes away from the villains. You know, does it change those people? Maybe, but it definitely takes away a lot of it. And that's my, you know, absolute point on it. It'd be hard for me to. I want to believe, even if they are canon, I want to believe they're not.
Yes, I agree.
I want to believe they're not. Why I agree. They're absolutely freaking great. You know, the Fall of Harbinger is great. The Fall of Ninjak, the Fall of Bloodshot, you know, the Fall of Exo. All of them were freaking good. And just that series, Book of Death, was great. You know, the follows were solid. You know, and that's where I get on it. So yeah, that's where I'm at on those, man. So, but I did look it up, and that Clayton Crane is just a C cover.
Oh.
I might try to find the last book 2 of the beginning of the arc.
Yeah.
Locking C covers, Clayton Crane. I'm hoping for it, man.
Be busting a move straight to him. First person in line.
Yeah. Book. Hey, did you get a chance to read that Bloodshot number 10 last week?
Yes, I did. That was that wasn't the dog one. That was the first introduction going into 4002.
Right, that was 4002 going into 4002, and it also is. It's kind of weird that it goes full circle, and it's actually really good of Lemire. It's actually his storytelling is having more of a reward, and like I said that earlier, that Bloodshot might be his worst one that he's currently writing, and that's more saying that everything else he's writing is so good. It's not saying that it is bad by any means.
Right.
But you're getting some of this payoff because you remember book number 1 where we got to see Jesse running and it said soon. And this book number 10, spoiler, it takes you like full circle to like right when that's about to happen. So it gets you into that whole point of right where it said soon. And that's cool that you're getting that payoff 10 issues later.
Well, the interesting thing that I found is, and it's also coming full circle, is you're looking at Bloodshot of 4002, and the last words where you get to see the Bloodshot of 4002 was father.
Yeah, huh? That's right.
So could it be the evolution of Jesse?
Or could it just be the nanites calling him father because they originated him?
Yeah. Or could it be another child? We don't quite know.
Could it be he's talking about father from New Japan?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I've got my own theories of where Father's at.
Could Bloodshot, that's that old and been there, have found a way to get in and be one of new Father's new protectors, and he works with Rai? I hope so, because I want Rai back.
Hey, look, I still believe, and I don't care who writes it. I think it needs to be written.
How about Jesse as War Mother?
No, because of how
be fun, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, no, I don't see it happening. But no, I still think the kid that War Mother saved, that's AI placed into a human body. That's Father. And that's the book that needs to get written with War Mother, that kid, and Rai.
And so NES Master says he's leaning towards New Japan Father. Thank you. Having my back. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Dude, but it was really cool about Baron Samedi translating that, going through and translating with the dog, with one of his protectors that gets him into uses Bloodhound to translate with the spirit to be his kind of guide. But who is the target? Do you think it's 4002 Bloodshot?
Somehow, some way they've got to intersect. Somehow, some way, Bloodshot has to dupe or finish the mission. I don't know. That's bizarre. That's the great thing I think maybe about this book is we don't really know. We kind of think that is Bloodshot of 4002, but we don't really know.
And so now I'm ready to see, you know what I mean? You think about, you got to look at the first arc. Now we got to figure out, how does Ray actually get in there and talk? Or when was that where Ray actually did go and talk to Punk through Punk Mambo?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how was that thing done? I'm curious to get so much more of these payoffs that he put in there in the early issues, and we only have 2 issues left.
Yeah, I know that to me. I mean, you're in 4002, and you've got this next issue coming up. Yeah, it seems like it's going to end really, really quick.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be quick. And I really feel like Lemire has built up so much with all of Reborn, then going to Bloodshot USA, and then coming back to this Salvation. I'm really ready to see what his payoff is.
Yeah, his finale.
And then going back, I do kind of funny that both Matt Kent and Jeff Lemire write kids in their books in Divinity and in Bloodshot, and both of them age extra, like, faster than any other human being.
Yes.
Those guys must, like, either be interlocked, paternal twins, something's going on there that they're writing these similar stories of, you know, you think about Divinity and his son, how he aged at the end to become the head of the Unknown,
right?
And then you have Jesse, who came to the dead side, got old, and is learning like so quick. Like I noticed it in issue number 3, I believe, where they were in the barn, and all of the other Bloodshot crew was there, and she was the one able to identify that they were there before any of the other ones.
Right.
You know what I mean? She goes, "They're here," and they're like, "What?" And so, like, her power and the fact that she already read the whole internet.
Yeah. I was waiting to bring that up, that she's read the whole internet.
Phenomenal. Could you imagine how much data was going through her at that time? Like,
that's insane.
Like, it would suck to have been trying to do this show while she's like in the same city as you, because you would have lost all of your internet access. It would have all been sucked dry.
Yep.
Done. Dude, I want to see more of her, so I hope there's more to come with Jesse down the way. I hope they figure out a way to have her in the story. I hope they use this 4002 to get us back into that future frame where maybe there's an ongoing we haven't heard about with Valiant Beyond that's coming or will come.
Yep. I'd love to get a surprise, just like you said. Say, hey, oh, by the way, we didn't want to spoil anything, but or even lead with that. Say, hey, mystery book. We're not going to give any spoilers. And then slowly but surely you know, you could drop a few hints here and there, you know, sand and sword, you know, number of different things like that to, you know, to keep people guessing and say, oh yeah, about 2 months out, or maybe, you know, I don't know, whatever, 3 months out when you got to put in your order, say, oh yeah, it's going to be this book. And if they did something like that and just let in a couple of months where they give little bits and little bits and little bits, and then say, oh, this is the book we're talking about. I think that would be a fun way to build up excitement. So,
and here's another thing, and I'm just connecting other pieces, is we talked to Matt Kent, and he alluded to having had a script ready for Psylords.
Yes, yes. He beat around the bush. He's alluded.
Is this our weird tie-in to Psylords?
Well, when we're talking about Exo Manowar, we already see something is happening.
I'm not talking Exo.
What are you talking about then?
I'm talking about Bloodshot being in 4002. Since he's already in the future where Psylords are at.
Not the right book to do that. You've got so much business that you got to take care of. I can't see Lemire saying, oh, here's your intro into Psylords for Matt Kent.
I could.
Yeah, I guess now that you say that, they are pretty close. They are pretty friendly. I could see them doing that. That would be something special, I think. That would be something pretty darn cool.
Yeah. That would be like a hopeful return. Do I see it happening as one thing different than other than like that would be cool if?
Yeah, that'd be cool if. Yeah.
You know, that there's a big difference there. But I believe Exo's kind of got some pieces into it to give us some Psylords thoughts. But getting that futuristic hardcore of what Psylords are in that era, that would be that I would be all game for it. So, and then Lemire can go and write Harbinger. Man, just give him Harbinger, dude. Be so good.
I think it would. I think it'd be fantastic.
Oh man, it'd be so good. And then I was looking to see what we had next week. Next week, Harbinger Wars 2, number 2, Exo number 16, and Quantum and Woody number 7. 3 books in 1 week.
It's a good week.
But why did you give us Valiant High 1 and then Valiant High 2 in back-to-back weeks, and Valiant High 2 was alone? Dang it. A book that was already out. No, we want more. We love them. Bring out the books, man. Guys, let us know what you're reading. Would love to hear that. Put that in the chat down below. Let us know what you want to read or you think that we should be picking up. Let us get a look at it. Maybe we'll do a live chat of a book you guys want to do. Do something like that. And if you're new to this, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like. We want to get as much as we can. Keep this going. So, and if you haven't shared it, subscribe. Peace out. Have a good time. Enjoy your books. And we'll, if you guys are at Ace Comic Con, come see us. We'll be there. Look for Moose's bald head. It'll be there.